What's up and welcome guys, I'm Luke Martin with ChopstickTravel.com and today I am in Hong Kong. This is an amazing city, east meets west and old meets new, and it is packed with a ton of delicious street food. So we are going to be taking you on a tour to try some of the quintessential Hong Kong Cantonese style street food, and I'm really excited and I'm super hungry, so let's go eat.
We have come out to a market in Kowloon, and there's a ton of things going on here. There's fresh fruit, tons of people, fresh meat, and roast meat. And if you're lucky, you might run into a dragon dance like we did. Check it out.
No Hong Kong food tour is complete without some dim sum. So for breakfast we have come to a really cool local spot to try out some of the classic dim sum dishes. Basically what that is are these small plates of Cantonese food. So we have ordered up some of the classic dim sums and let's show you guys these here. So the first one we've got here is the Cha Chaan Bao, which is Cha Chaan, this kind of braised red pork inside, and then the very soft bao bun. Over here, we have the Chong Fun, which is a vermicelli roll. So it's this steamed vermicelli rice and then stuffed. This time we've got it stuffed with pork and then drizzled with a ton of this light soy sauce. Over here, we have the Siu Mai, which is a egg dumpling, one of potentially the most famous of all the dim sums, and this is an egg wrapper and then stuffed with pork and shrimp and then topped with some roe. You can see this orange roe here, and then over here we have something really interesting. Let me open this up for you. So this is glutinous sticky rice that has been wrapped in a lotus leaf and then packed with all kinds of interesting ingredients. Let me try to figure out how I can open this up here. It's kind of difficult. There's 2 layers of lotus leaf, it looks like, and then, oh yeah, there it is. It has been steamed in those classic dim sum bamboo steamers, and there it is. It is some sticky rice, and there should be some preserved meat in here, some Chinese sausage right there, and all kinds of good looking stuff. And let me tell you, that just smells amazing. All of these dishes look awesome, so let's dig in. Let's start with the Siu Mai. I love how it's got this yellow wrapper on the outside and that orange roe on the top. Let's try it. Okay, that is a good Siu Mai. It is really juicy on the inside. The wrapper is very thin, and there's a ton of that minced pork and also minced shrimp in there. You can't really taste the fish eggs on top. I think it's more kind of just for flair, but that is a really good Siu Mai, nice and juicy. Next up, we will try the Chi Chong. So this looks like it's been stuffed with red braised pork, and I'll dip it in a little bit of soy sauce. Let's try that. Oh, that's also very good. That's very comforting. It's kind of chewy, sort of a little bit of an elasticity to it, and then there's nice big chunks of braised pork in there, kind of like Cha Chaan red braised pork. And then it's drizzled with a light soy sauce. It's not too salty. It's very subtle soy sauce flavor. It's all about that vermicelli roll though. Next up, we will try the Cha Chaan Bao. And just a word of warning, if you ever eat these, make sure you peel off. On the bottom, there is a thin piece of paper so that it does not stick to the bamboo steamer. So make sure you get all that off before devouring this guy. And let's take a big bite of that. Okay, cha xiao bao is always my favorite dim sum item. It is so fluffy. That bun is extremely fluffy, incredibly soft. And then on the inside, you have that really, really sweet braised pork. So that cha xiao that has been braised in all kinds of interesting ingredients, honey, soy sauce, and it just all together goes so well with that really, really fluffy bun. Next up, the steamed glutinous sticky rice, and with a piece of Chinese sausage there. I'll try to get a big chunk of rice and try it with that sausage. It also looks like there might be some shrimp in there, and this smells awesome, so let's try that out. Nice big bite. Oh man. Okay, that sticky rice is phenomenal. That might be the best thing we have here on the table. That has such an amazing essence from the lotus leaf. It almost tastes like a green tea flavor. And then a big chunk of that sweet Chinese sausage, and the rice is just really, really sticky, glutinous, hearty meal for breakfast. But this is so good, everything here. I love dim sum, and I would definitely recommend if you come to Hong Kong, you've got to eat dim sum. It is just delicious, but also for the experience and the atmosphere. We are sitting down to have our second breakfast of the day because there's so much good food here in Hong Kong, and I really am excited to show you guys what I have here in front of me. So this is something that's really interesting. We are at a type of restaurant here in Hong Kong called Cha Chaan Teng, which basically means a tea house, but that's the generic name, and they all kind of serve the same thing, and that is this sort of British influenced Chinese food. So let me show you what we've got on our plates here. On our first plate here, we've got a fried egg. Underneath here, we've got some fried ham, a sausage, and then a thick cut piece of toast that's been lathered with some butter. Over here, we have a very interesting dish. So this is very, very common at these Cha Chaan Tengs, and that is a kind of plain macaroni that has been topped with a ton of this sort of shredded ham. So it kind of looks like Spam. It's a Chinese ham, and as I mentioned, you know, this was influenced by the British when the Hong Kong was under British rule, so it's sort of marketed as cheap Western food. And then we've ordered the set menu, which also comes with a nice cup of coffee, so that coffee smells awesome. And this is really popular here in Hong Kong. You can find this all over the place. There's tons of these restaurants, really kind of laid back atmosphere where you can just eat a filling breakfast. So let's dig in. Let's start with having a drink of this coffee. This looks like a nice thick coffee with some milk, and I haven't not had any today, so this smells too good to pass up. So let's try it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good cup of coffee. You can taste almost like a little bit of an acidic sourness to it. So let's move on to this dish here. I actually, I don't know the proper name for this, so if you guys know, make sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know. But I guess you could just call it macaroni with ham. So let's take a big bite with a bunch of that shredded ham and macaroni. Wow, that's actually surprisingly good. It's really kind of subtle in flavor. It's a little bit salty from that broth and that ham, and then that macaroni is cooked perfectly. There's not much to it, but it is satisfying. Perfectly cooked fried egg, nice and creamy, and let's just pick that all up and take a big bite. All right, that's pretty good too. It's very simple, just fried egg on toast. I do like the thickness of that toast, but this is really interesting. I just had to show you guys. This is really popular. There's all kinds of these Cha Chaan Tengs around Hong Kong, so I definitely recommend you try one. You can just pop into a local one like we did, or one famous one is Australia Dairy Co., which we did try, but we didn't film at because it was really, really crazy in there. We decided to come to one of these more laid back ones, so pretty good. So we've been exploring all these cool little back alleys of Kowloon. There's so much to find back here, all kinds of delicious looking restaurants, all kinds of cool markets, and this little roast meat shop looks awesome. So let's try this place out here.
Sauce.
So we found this really cool stall selling all kinds of different roast meats, and we are sitting in this little alleyway to enjoy a box of beautiful looking meat that we have ordered up. So this spot's really cool. He's got all kinds of different things. You can get the classics like the cha siu and the roast pork belly, but he's also got pig, like piglet, suckling pig, and also roast goose, all kinds of different things, and it just all looks amazing and it smells even better. We have two of the classic Cantonese roast meats. This is called Siu Mei, which is the roasted pork belly with the extremely crispy skin. So that is like a salt crusted skin pork belly and then roasted at a very high temperature to get that amazing crispiness going on the outside. And then perhaps arguably the most famous of all is the cha siu, and that is this. This is also pork that has been marinated for hours in a mixture of different Cantonese spices, some 5-spice, some honey, all kinds of different beautiful looking things, some Shaoxing wine, and then all served on a bed of rice. We've got some greens under here, and then over here we've also got a soup, which looks like a pork bone soup. There's some bones, some meat going on in there, and this also looks really good. So let's dig into this meal now. Okay, I'm going to start with the classic cha siu, and that just looks amazing. I love that red color kind of seeping into the meat, and let's just try it without the rice. You can see a little bit of a burnt part there from the roasting, but let's try that. Oh yeah. That is amazing. You can taste all that kind of deep Cantonese spice going on in there, and it's also very sweet from that honey glaze. Really tender, really juicy. It's just such a like rich flavor, but really tender meat at the same time. That's really good. Let's move on. Next, I'm gonna try the Siu Mei, which is the pork belly roasted, and this looks like he's kind of drizzled a little bit of sauce on there. It's probably a soy sauce, but man, I'm excited to try this crispy skin. Oh man, that is also phenomenal. That one doesn't have as much of like a flavor of the Cantonese, but it really is all about that super crispy skin. So like I mentioned, it's salt crusted. It is a little bit salty, but that is just ridiculously crispy. Guys, like that crunch in my mouth like a potato chip. But I also love it because it's really crispy on the top, and then underneath there's a thick layer of fat, so that is really kind of like gelatinous. And then underneath that, there's a really lean piece of pork belly, so all together there's all kinds of different textures going on there. It's not crazy flavorful like the cha siu, but really it's all about that crispy pork skin on the outside. Just to demonstrate how crispy this skin is, I just tore off the piece of the pork belly skin, the Siu Mei, and I'm gonna crunch this in my mouth, and hopefully you guys can hear. So when you're in Hong Kong, there's a few things you need to eat. Dim sum is one of them, and roast meat is another. And then of course the famous Hong Kong egg waffle. So we've come to a really cool spot to try one right here. Okay, we have our Hong Kong waffle here. This is an iconic street food here in Hong Kong. We've got it from a really cool shop called North Point Egg Waffle, and this smells awesome. They are making them nice and fresh. And we are right street side here, and this looks awesome. It's got all these different kind of puffs. So let's dig in and try one of these out. Oh yeah. I think what makes this one so unique is it's got some coconut flavor in there. I'm not sure if they're using coconut oil or coconut milk, but it is really good. It's almost got like a little bit of a tropical flavor going on there, and this spot is really cool. They're pumping them out, super popular, so I definitely recommend trying this spot if you're ever in Hong Kong. Tonight for dinner, we have come to Hong Kong Island, the busiest part in the entire city. There's tons of fancy restaurants here, super hectic, but if you know where to look, you can find some authentic Hong Kong Cantonese foods, and we have come to Sing Ki Dai Pai Dong. It's right here, and we're gonna be eating. So we are sitting down now at the Dai Pai Dong. Basically what a Dai Pai Dong is this outdoor Hong Kong style restaurant right in this cool alley, as I mentioned, in Hong Kong Island. This one is called Sing Ki, but there's tons all over the city. We are early today, so they're just setting up now, as you can see, but we are getting really, really hungry. They've got this really cool kind of makeshift outdoor kitchen over here, and we are just about to order. Okay, service is really fast here. They are cooking up the dishes extremely fast. We have ordered a few things, but we've just received 2 of them. So here we've got our sweet and sour pork. So this is deep fried pork rib meat, and then it's been stir fried with a ton of bell peppers, some onions, and then covered in that sweet and sour sauce. Over here we've got some clams that have been fried in black bean chili sauce, and it looks like some chilies on there. There's some black beans, some green onions, and the smells so good already. So let's try these dishes out. So let's start with this sweet and sour pork, and it smells really, really good. Let's try that out. Little bite-sized one-biters. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really good. Boneless pork, really, really tender. Sweet and sour, not very salty. It has a nice kind of zing to it. That's really good. Next up, let's try these stir-fried clams with chili black bean sauce. Oh, I'm gonna have to probably just suck this guy off the shell. Oh, no, fell right off. Let's try that. Oh, man. Oh, those are phenomenal. That has a little bit of a kick to it. Definitely some spice going on in there. The black bean is almost like a little bit earthy, a little bit kind of sweet, and you can definitely taste that wok kind of smoky flavor to it. Next up is the beef fried rice. Looks like some egg, some green onions, and nice slivers of beef, and that smells really good too. Let's try this. Oh yeah, oh man. Okay, that is a killer fried rice. You could definitely taste the smokiness of that wok in there as well. The egg is nice and soft, and that beef is ridiculously tender. It's very simple, not too salty, nothing much to it, but that is a perfect fried rice. Final dish of the night has arrived, and this looks like it could potentially be the highlight of the meal. Check this guy out here. We have a steamed fish in black bean sauce. So you can see some black beans on top there. There's a light black bean sauce on the bottom, a little bit of oil. Looks like some ginger and some green onions. And this guy looks so beautiful. I am totally ready to devour this. So I'm just going to go in right with my spoon. This has been steamed for a while, so it should be nice and soft. And let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Check that out. Oh man, there is a lot of meat underneath there. Okay, I'm gonna get some of these black beans, some green onions, maybe a little bit of sauce over here, and I'm just gonna try the meat just by itself. Oh man, wow. That is incredible. That has such an amazing kind of natural seafood flavor, but at the same time it's really complemented with the kind of sweetness and a little bit of a sourness from those black beans. So we have destroyed all of these dishes. The food here was actually mind-blowing. I was a little bit hesitant. I was wondering whether it was gonna be good, but honestly, it was incredible. We had a great lineup of dishes, the black bean steamed fish, those clams, the sweet and sour pork, and then the stir-fried rice. Everything was awesome, and then wash it all down with a nice cold beer. I can't picture a better way to end our night here in Hong Kong. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. We tried all the classic, typical Hong Kong style food, but now we are off to China. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me any questions in the comment box and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.